Yeah, I mean, just in terms of podcast stuff, there's a lot of people that, could listen to John's podcast that don't know your story at all. So, I mean, we
Okay.
might know your story. I actually don't know much of your story, but, there are people out there that would probably like to hear it, Girls in kneeboarding.
If we want to grow girls kneeboarding, we gotta put on a what's the word? On a platform for people to see.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, you guys are probably gonna have to grow your hair out and ski with your left hand, and then we'll be on the same playing field. And then we'll have girls kneeboarding back.
I do it.
When I first started kneeboarding, there was probably like 15 or 20 of us on the starting dock. And now there's just me.
15 or 20 girls?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
In Florida. So you had 15 or 20 kneeboarders just in Florida, essentially.
No, I mean like on the starting dock at competitions.
Yeah. So
which was all over. We went all over the country-ish, like the Carolinas, Georgia.
Sure. Wow. See, I can't even imagine that.
It was crazy. There was like 2 groups of us. It was interesting.
Do you still?
It was fun. Then it was really fun because you're like, competing with people, and now it's just like, nah, I'm gonna try and get with the boys, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you keep up with any of those women that you used to kneeboard with?
Yeah, I mean on social media.
Yeah.
Mark Richard's daughters.
Sure.
They were always in the same age group as me. Then they moved to that one. And then the rest of the girls, I mean, yeah, we're on social media, but their lives are completely different now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Crazy. I would have never even guessed that. Coming from Minnesota,
Yeah.
I don't ever even know if I would have even had a chance to see a kneeboard tournament, like an official, AKA sanctioned full tournament. I mean, Chad Beery did a little bit of stuff, but it was so small when he was doing it, even in like 2003, 2004. It was tiny. So
I guess I started competing in 2001, and I went to my first nationals in 2001, and I think there was like 10 of us.
Wow.
I remember my first nationals, I had to compete against Austin Hare's sister, and Austin Hare is now a professional wakeboarder, I think, or wake skater. She was on the starting dock, and I told my parents, I was like, but her brother is like really good. They're like really good, and ended up beating her. It was kind of like INT was really big when I was younger. I don't know if you know what that is. So a lot of the INT skiers would come to our tournaments.
Cool.
Yeah.
John, you know who Austin Hare is?
Oh yeah, Austin Hare is a professional wakeboarder. I don't know if he still wakeboards. I know he's currently still in Orlando, still doing until the doing kickboxing at a place called 9 Rounds.
Same place you probably.
I can't remember if he like dabbled in wake skating or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he might have
It was a long time ago.
pursued it though. Like he wasn't a big name in wake skating. Yeah. So what right now that everyone's kind of social so you're working 40 hours, Alisa, or?
I don't know. I will find out when they text me. They said they would text me when they need me next, and I was like, it was kind of open-ended. So I have gotten some skiing in, and I have a sunburn. I can't move my arms. I've used a muscle group I haven't used in a while.
How's your set? Pops and backwards, invert fronts?
Actually, no. Me and Danny Sauls went slalom, kneeboard slalom a
Cool.
couple nights ago. And I haven't, it's been a long winter and I have not really gotten in the water during the winter time. So I made it, I did my 22 miles an hour, 22 off past 4 times down the lake just to like knock it off. And then I couldn't really get back in the boat. I was stuck like this. So Walker and I are going to try and put the his boat in and get on, you know, trick board.
Cool.
Try and get back into that.
Good.
So we're going to try that.
I assume all the kneeboard clinics are probably done right now.
I'm sorry, the kneeboard what?
Kneeboard clinics that you guys were doing, I assume they're all done now.
Well, when the time change, yes. We had done a kids clinic, and that was awesome. There was a ton of kids that showed up. And so then we followed up with that by doing Thursday night ski club. And so from 5 to 7, we would get in the boat and everyone would get a couple laps and work on something that they wanted to work on. And that was all the progression from like they had never been on a kneeboard or worn a life jacket in their life to wake back. So that's about as far as we got because then the time changed. So at 5 o'clock it was dark and then it got cold. So I think they're going to start trying to bring back kneeboard night. And I hope those kids come back, and we'll probably do another kids clinic like that because it was awesome to see that many kids show up. It was overwhelming.
How many kids showing up?
How many what?
How many kids do you show up?
I think there was 15 or 17. I think there was 17, and then 2 of them, it wasn't for them. You know, like the age range was like 4 to 12. The majority of them were between 5 and 6. So we had a group that had kneeboarded before, and then we had a group that had never kneeboarded before. And Mark Richard and Lissa Richard came down and helped me, and they took the group that had kneeboarded before, and they taught them 1 through 10, like, you know, side slides, 360s. And then I took my group and we did ground practice and learned how to ride the kneeboard before you got in the water. And then I rode with each kid, held the board while they got up. And I pretty much could not get out of bed for like 5 days. It was wild. But it was so rewarding because they were so excited. Like, they had never done anything like that in their lives. And then those kids that learned that day, they are the ones that end up coming back to kneeboard night and like wanted to keep with it. And it was cool to see them like really excited to do something. And then
Awesome.
they went to school and told their friends that they kneeboarded, and they brought kids from school, their friends. So it was definitely, it was a good thing, like to get, you know, membership and
I bet.
exposure.
That's
awesome.
awesome. Building a community.
Yeah. And you guys, so you guys have the ability to like do videos and get those on the internet, and I'm not really good at that. And 9 times out of 10 when I go kneeboarding, I have a boat driver in me. So like when my dad or Walker's trying to take a selfie and drive the boat. So for me, I was excited to do that or continue trying to do that and going every Thursday night and following up with those kids because that was my ability to spread kneeboarding. And like I said, I'm not really good at the social media life and videoing, so I'm not a good millennial.
Let me know the next time you guys are having a clinic, and I'll drive down there and film you guys. You included.
Yeah, soon. You don't want to film me today, maybe in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you'd still shred. You'd be good.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like riding a bike, right?
It'd be good. Of course. You've been doing it long enough. So,
Mm-hmm.
did you guys see the flash of lightning in the background?
Yeah. Was that
Yeah.
lightning?
Yeah, it was lightning, and now I got a 6-year-old in tears.
Oh, geez.
That's shocking.
Baby, you remember this is our first thunderstorm of the year.
I was
just-
gonna say
was-
it's not been raining here.
That was our second clap of thunder today. One was about an hour ago. So
Aw.
I'm gonna have to go tuck this one in. I think I'll have to come right back. But pretty exciting. But this thunderstorm that's rain right now is supposed to turn into snow in a few hours. So then we'll have thunder snow, and that's an actual thing.
What is snow?
Yeah, right. What is snow at all? These guys have never even seen snow, let alone a thunder snowstorm that we might have.
It thunders and then it snows. That should be exciting then, the thunder.
Yeah.
Then you get the white stuff to play in.
Yeah. John, have you been in snow ever, John?
Yes, Utah, Colorado, and North Carolina.
Yeah. And Alisa, you haven't. I've seen pictures of you guys in the snow. Right?
Yeah, we've been vacationing in the wintertime now
Yeah.
so that I can see snow.
Yeah.
And you guys were all like, what is wrong with you? We want to come to Florida.
No, I understand. Some people want to go to Florida. Mama wants to go to Florida.
Yeah, well, come on. I have plenty of room.
Yes,
Right.
come on.
What do you think? If we just go back, flights are cheap.
Oh, right, yeah. You could probably get your whole family here for $20.
Yeah. We looked at flights just for fun. They were $17 each way. $35 round trip to Florida and to Orlando and back last
You
week.
should purchase them like now. Like
Yeah, they were only that cheap for like last weekend, but
holy cow.
yeah.
I knew they were. I didn't know they were.
Yep. So I'm gonna go put this one back to bed. I'll be right back. What is this race season for Walker right now?
Yes.
Well, so is everything canceled?
Yes. He was 3 races in and
Yeah.
they canceled and we're not super stoked about that.
Yeah.
That's his moneymaker. And if they're
Yeah.
not racing, he's not making money. So, and now he's
Yeah.
in my hair. And I actually told him today, I was like, between them cutting my work schedule and you not working, like, you can just tell me anytime, like, yo, personal space. Like, we've never spent this much time together. Actually, yeah, we're putting a boat in tomorrow. I'm gonna make a kneeboard. It's gonna be great.
Good.
He's like he has the perfect he's stuck in riding position from riding his whole life. So
Elbows out.
he's really good at skiing and surfing.
Coming for you guys. Oh yeah.
Kneeboarding, real bad.
I don't believe it.
He's listening.
Yeah, I
Real
can't.
bad.
I don't believe it.
When I sanctioned Board Wars,
Yeah,
nobody signed up except for
Wow.
me.
we
And
did.
We
just did late.
I made Walker sign up. He said, I've got this boat coming from Fort Lauderdale, and we're going to have us a kneeboard tournament. It's going to be me and you. It's going to be, you're going to die. All right. Rapid fire questions. Here we go.
All right. So, how did you get started kneeboarding? From
How
the
did I
beginning.
what?
How did you get started kneeboarding from the beginning?
I didn't have a choice. My parents and my grandparents and my cousins very, very involved in water skiing. And my dad actually purchased a glide slide. And I don't know if anyone knows what a glide slide is, but it is a teardrop kneeboard. That was like one of the first kneeboards. He purchased that, and And if you've ever seen them, they're awful. They're like this fat. Really hard and awkward to get on. It's a pointed at the end. So they ended up barefooting off of that. That was what they used to barefoot. And then progressed a couple years. And then I think a tunnel board came out, and my cousin Chris got into competitive kneeboarding with the first kneeboard club, which was MAP. MAP Kneeboard Club was the Manions, the Andrews, and the Pipers. So the Manions and the Pipers are my family. So progress even more, and my cousin Chris was thebomb.com. I believe they were doing the Bud Tour back then. Kneeboarding was so big. And then I didn't have a choice when Skiani kneeboard team came along, which was the Roners, who live next door to us. And my mom told me that I was going kneeboarding, and I was like, no, I'm not. And here I am.
Funny.
Like, that's something we always did as a kid, though. Like, 10 ropes, not kidding. 10 ropes, 10 people, 10 kids, and we would just around and around and around and around and around. So kneeboarding was always in my life. And then the competitive scene came, and I was already good at, well, I was already knew the basics, okay? So then when someone just taught me, you know, tricks, it just, oh, this is click, click, click.
So you had like the best of the best basically teaching you like how to kneeboard and how to do all the maneuvers the correct way.
Definitely. George Roner, which his son Zach Roner was, you know, competitive with my cousin Chris. So I've got Chris in my background. I've got the Roners who started Skiani kneeboard team, who were coaching me along the way, and my brother was a really good kneeboarder as well. So he would just tell me, hey, you're doing this, like, and he would go teach me a trick because that's what we were doing. So
Shout out Chuck Piper, that guy's a legend.
my brother, he still has the coolest invert ever in my life. So
You were mentioning earlier that you would have like 20 girls like at a contest that you would show up at. Like, do you remember any of the names? There was Leah and Alisa that
Leah and Lissa. There was Jessica Williamson, which me and her were really neck and neck. There was a lot of girls. I don't remember all of their names. I was really little. Like, I was 10. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember everyone's names. There was Reagan McCann when we got older. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I don't remember. If you guys are watching, I don't remember.
this is a long. I expect you to remember anyone's names, but
Yeah.
you mentioned that like you're basically like forced to do it. Was there a certain point, or was it like a very slow process where it was like, okay, I like doing this. This is like what I want to do, and then start pursuing it, or was there like a moment where it just clicks, or?
I definitely didn't like it in the beginning, I will say. Like, I knew how to kneeboard. I just didn't understand why I needed to learn these tricks. Like, why can't we just, you know, take the boat around the lake? And then I really, really liked slaloming. I still really like slaloming. It's kind of a game, you know? So I don't know.
So we've mentioned this in every podcast, and we're going to mention this one. Eventually, the movie Aerosol comes out, and I assume you watched it like a million times, right?
Well, which part would you like me to recite?
So, what was your favorite part of Aerosol? Like, was there a particular section that you liked, and like, how often would you watch it?
Okay, so let's back up. First kneeboard clinic at the end of the street, mom makes me go. they gave out the video Air Assault to everyone that was there. And there was a lot of people that showed up. There was, I don't even know. I would have to ask George and Doris. There's probably 50 people that showed up to this thing. Like, but everyone got a copy of Air Assault. And then me, John, Jared Bolin, and Nick Sauls, we would, on Friday night, we'd be bored, so we'd throw Air Assault in, and we would just watch them. Like, we would watch what they were doing and being like, we can do this. So, like, but Michael Bradshaw's section's pretty sick. Like, he's just a smooth rider.
Those 7 backs.
Yeah, right? I still can't do a handle pass 360 to save my life.
Have it.
There's still time.
Yeah,
That board, his board was so cool.
Right? Yeah.
I was like 12 years old. Like, I gotta save my money to buy that board. But
Yeah.
by the time I was able to save that money, that board was long gone.
Yeah. You can find it on eBay now.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. So cool. I had a guy in our water ski club that had one, and I was just like mind blown. But he never rode
It
it.
was like the red and white, the red and blue lowrider, right?
Yeah, like an orange red, like lava.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lava wave.
I don't know. He just rode so smoothly to me, and then I feel like Jared watched Air Assault. We watched it together all the time. I feel like Jared took away from Michael Bradshaw a lot because Jared rides just like Michael Bradshaw to me, like just smooth and the spins and.
Yeah, I can see that.
Michael Bradshaw style to him.
I think we related to the Michael Bradshaw because he was the youngest one out of that group.
Probably. That's probably why. I mean, when the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing, we can all recite that part of the movie. You know, my mom would be like, you can't watch this. We were like 10. So.
Shout.
Yep.
And then it was very relevant, like watching that, because Kent came to everything, you know? He was always at tournaments. He was always at clinics. He was always, you know, pushing people to do better. And so.
That's cool.
Kent legend for not only his video part, but for also all he's done for kneeboarding in all these years. So mad props, Ken Archhorn.
Yeah. Kent's an awesome rider too. No, I loved everyone's part in that movie. They're all my biggest, you know, fans and heroes. Like, not my biggest fans. I'm their biggest fan, and they're my heroes. But like,
I think it goes both ways, Alisa.
John, do you know the difference between a hippopotamus and a Zippo?
One's really heavy, and the other's a little lighter.
You got it.
Hey, John. Glad to see you're still the same.
So we got cut off on our last one, but we were basically talking about you riding in contests. Ever since I've seen you riding, like ever since I met you, you've been riding in contests, and for as long as that's been till still currently, like I've never seen you lose a contest. So was it like always easy for you to like compete in contests and like take first place, or was it a struggle getting there? Or tell me more about it.
I mean, I always was in the top 3. I didn't always win, no. There was some tough competition. I mean, there's still tough competition when I have it, Rachel. But yeah, I don't know, John, actually, how to answer that. I think it's because the last 10 years, I have not had anyone to compete against, you know, at my level. You know, there's other females that may have been skiing, but they weren't in my division. And I've been riding the open division since I was 17, so like 2007. So then I started riding alone when I went to open. So then, yeah, I started winning. Or there'd be 1 or 2 girls there. I mean.
So yeah. So it would be nice though if there were more medium though.
Yeah, get your heart pumping. I mean, I even if I compete against myself, I'm still, I'm still my biggest competitor. I still, I don't just go out there and sandbag. Like, I'll do a side slide. No,
So even if you went first, like, you're still hard on yourself if you like fall on a trick that you know how to do.
Yeah.
Oh, better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, early on when I was 10, I mean, I definitely have a couple not first place trophies, but I started to really enjoy kneeboarding and take it pretty serious. And
Then you lost all your competition.
yeah, I lost all the competition.
You did.
There was crying at the starting dock. There was parents yelling at each other, and it was hard.
The closest thing to a girl you had in competition was John.
Basically. I'm the
Yeah.
guy's side of that.
Dang it. No, when Jared had long hair.
He still has long hair though, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, it's back now.
Yeah, it's back.
You were doing back rolls well before him, weren't you?
Yes.
Really? Okay, between the 3 of you guys, and I wish Jared was here to defend his title or whatever, but like, who was the first one that landed like a really cool trick? Like air assault worthy trick? Because you guys all 3 watch it together. And y'all grew up together kneeboarding probably pretty close to the same level at the same time, I bet, for a long time. I'm kind of guessing. Like, who's the first one that was like, what? John just did or whoever,
I think
it was always, oh, John. Oh,
yeah.
John. Oh, John's helmet fell off again. I don't think I air assault worthy ever. Like, as far as like landing cool tricks, it would probably be John, because John was trying stupid, crazy tricks. Like, John was trying to do double back rolls, and me and Jared were like focusing on our 20-second trick run, and where you only need this much air, not this much air. So, but Jared, I can remember Jared learning 5s, and then I can remember Jared learning 7s. And
like, Jared, I think, learned all the hard tricks first.
Jared definitely learned all of the hard tricks first. I mean, in my opinion, a 7 is pretty hard. And he was just stomping them all day long.
I still struggle with a 7, and he was popping those off before he was doing back rolls.
And I can't do a handle pass 360 on flat water. So.
I got 1.
Did any of you do one in tournament?
No, I didn't land it. I don't think I landed a 7. Back 5s. Back to front 5s. Not 7s in the tournament.
Yeah.
Not. Ken Stewart did the front 7 at the Riders Cup, and I was like,
yeah, super sick.
He's insane. I can't believe that's like a contest trick now.
Yeah.
Telling me years ago he was doing that, I was like, right. And then I saw, oh, you guys aren't joking.
Yeah.
John was there the day. So my brother taught me to do a back roll. I was young, years ago. And I was just so stuck on doing a back roll right forever.
Ponytail, water.
Yeah. I never wanted to try back roll left. I would try front flips, and I would always do, because I did so many back rolls that I would do a front flip, and then at the end I would turn my head. So I was like, then what is that? Front flip back. I'd always land backwards. So then John was like, just do a back roll from the left side. Easy. And I literally landed it the first time I tried it, which now, looking back, wow, this is just easy. This back roll is so simple. But like then, I'm like, when you first learn that trick, it's kind of scary to go upside down. And that's like the gateway drug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
I remember
yeah.
George and Doris on the boat going. I'm like, she's gonna look cool if I jump out of the boat to high five Alisa if she lands this. And they're like, yeah, go for it. Jump out of the boat, high five her. Someone
And
got
then I remember landing the trick. I was like, it's so stupid. Like, why am I in my head to do a back roll? Like,
Yeah.
So doing back rolls, and then you start doing the other side back rolls.
Yeah.
What motivated you to do the invert front?
when did I learn it?
Oh, like
Or
what? Like when? Like tell me, like all went down. Like, did you always have it in mind? Did someone say, "Hey, Lisa, you should try this"?
Well, I to this day cannot land a front flip because I always turn my head. I always land backwards. So my brother told me, and I love doing Waco backs, like you hit the wake backwards. I always rode HO Joker for years, and so like that big end of the board, so simple to ramp up the wave on. And my brother would watch me and he'd be like, why don't you just do inverts? You always turn your head and you really like hitting the wake backwards. And I landed the invert on my third try. And then ever since then, it's pretty much like, it's just second nature to hit the wake backwards to me and turn my head. I don't know.
And you were the first girl to ever do that, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mad.
I remember Kent Hartshorn's wife, Victoria
Yes.
Hartshorn. She was trying those when I was young. Like I think I just learned a back roll, and I was like, oh my gosh. She would wear like a mask, like a hockey or ski mask. And I remember she tried them, and I don't know, I'm sure Rachel lands them now too, but I definitely was the first one to do it, so I'm going to take that credit.
You should take that credit.
So tell me about let's see, where has kneeboarding taken you? It's taken you like out of country, right?
It's taken me a lot of places. It's taken me to England and to compete with Team USA. I've been most of, the southern states a lot. That's about it.
So you're out.
Applebee's. It's taking you to Applebee's, right?
It's taking me to Applebee's. I am on all of the Applebee's walls in Florida. And I don't really tell a lot of people that I work with that I kneeboard because nobody understands it. And
Sometimes it's just easier.
Sometimes it's just easier to say I water ski.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I remember one of my coworkers went on lunch and she called me and she had took some pictures and she's like, "Is this you?" And I was like, "What?" So the guy that had done pictures for one of our nationals had a contract with all of the Applebee's in the state of Florida. And wherever you're at, so that was in Winter Haven, and Winter Haven's a huge water ski capital mecca. And so any Applebee's you're in, it's like the pictures on the wall kind of go with that theme where, and there I am, multiple Applebee's. I'm like doing a back roll.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I knew you made it to what was it? It was the Lake Placid restaurant. I don't know what it's called now.
The dock 633. My kneeboard is still on the wall there.
I'll have your picture up.
I used to spend a lot of time there at the dock.
I feel like there was a funny story about that. Like, wasn't there like someone like looking at that picture and then looking at you and like back at the picture? Like,
Yeah. There's multiple times. So a local magazine had done a story on me and they found out. And I'm a patron there. And they asked to put my kneeboard on the wall. So they framed the story underneath my kneeboard, and like people are always reading it because it's kind of a cool little story. And I was sitting there, and this guy was reading it, and he's staring at me, and he's reading it, and he's looking at me, and I was like, yeah, that's me. But that happens a lot when I'm in there, and people would be like, that's her kneeboard. And I'd be like, it's not that cool.
Yeah, it is.
But it's called the dock, so they have a water ski on the wall, and they have stuff like that, surfboard, and
It's not go to wall though. That's really cool.
The local celebrity.
local, yeah.
Yep.
But now that you're on the internet, now you're going to be worldwide.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah. Cool.
So you said you were riding the Joker back in the day when you're doing invert fronts. So how did you get picked up the Joker, and then like who's your current sponsor?
HO started sponsoring me when I was probably 12, up until just recent, like in the last 5 years or so. So very long time I rode HO boards. And then now I ride for O'Brien Watersports. So, which is super awesome. Shout out.
O'Brien Watersports. So did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
O'Brien definitely reached out to me, and I like what they got going on and how they treat everyone like family, and it's a close group. So
Good stuff. So do you have any favorite memories you offhand?
favorite what?
Favorite kneeboard memories? It's a loaded
Like,
question. A lot.
that is definitely a loaded question. I don't even know where to start. It's the first memory that popped in my head when you said that was John was old enough to drive. I was not. So he picked me up and we went skiing on his lake behind his Mastercraft X9, which is with 2 side stacks and 15 of his friends, which were all much older than me because John's older than me. So I didn't really know them. And the wave was huge. And instead of just doing back rolls, I was doing double back rolls. And I'm pretty sure I still got whiplash from that day.
Not like right after you learned the back roll on like a really small weight too.
Yeah. That's a good memory. It's just, I don't, and competing with Team USA, like that's huge. I went to England when I was 14 with Team USA, and I competed in the Rippers division, which is the intermediate. And I won my division, and that was way crazy because I was competing against men. And everyone was a little salty, but here's this little 14-year-old girl and 2 men on the podium. So, I mean, that's great. That's a huge memory that I've competed with Team USA multiple times after that, but that's definitely pretty high on the list.
We've had a lot of good times kneeboarding together. I'm trying to think, like when you learned the back roll, it was behind a Stars and Stripes, right?
Actually, I learned it behind a Centurion, and one of the, I don't even know what they were, like a little direct drive Centurion that had a tower on it. One of my neighbors, Tim Davis, which his daughter used to compete and was really good, Amanda Davis. My brother, for a week, I was walking down the hallway, my brother was hitting me with pillows. And I was like, what are you doing? Every time, why are you hitting me with pillows? And he would say, well, did that hurt? No. Well, then you can do a back roll. I would just be like blindsided, like boom, hit with a pillow. Did that hurt? No. Okay, you can do a back roll. And then like the day came, I was gonna try the back roll, and we went behind Nick Saul's Malibu. And Nick was gonna try something crazy that day too. I don't remember. So we sat down at the kitchen table, and my brother went in the fridge and he got the package of Oreos. And he took the Oreos and he like ripped the Oreos in half so it looked like a kneeboard. And he was like, we practiced with the Oreos, and then we went behind the boat. And then I didn't land it that day. The next day, the first time I tried it, I landed. And yeah.
That's awesome.
I think I got a little winded there. Sorry.
Do you know how many female athlete awards you've won? Like
10
lot.
consecutive. For 10 consecutive years, I won Female Athlete of the Year, and I had won it probably 2 or 3 other times prior to that. Which in the beginning, I won Female Athlete of the Year was based off of votes in the beginning, I think. And I was probably like 13. I didn't really understand it then. And then it went from votes to, I believe, like your highest, the highest scoring, you know, male and the highest scoring female would get the award. And now looking back, like that first time I ever got it, I was sitting at a table with Freddy Krueger and like, which is, these are huge. That is my idol. Yeah. So now looking back, like I was like this, like, Mom, why are we sitting with Freddy Krueger? And now, like, I don't know. Now I get it. Like I was on the same level as these other athletes, but to me, I was nothing because I'm just kneeboarding, and these were my idols sitting at the table and winning, you know, the awards. But yeah, so it's cool to look back on that.
Good times. So, Tom, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I don't know. This has been a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Alisa, anything you want to say to the kneeboard community? Or
Yes, we need you. Anyone. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are just free riding and having fun, and me too. I totally love that, but I would love to try and promote competitive kneeboarding again, and I still am, and I'm trying to listen to, because I'm on the board of directors for the AKA, so they have my voice, and I try to listen to you guys. So, you know, I would love to have tournaments how you guys would like them, and get, you know, membership and growth, because that's how, like, Tom's kids will be able to go to kneeboard nationals, you know, because I want kids to have the same experiences that I have, like, you know, and it just made me who I am. So I don't want to see it go away. And that's why I try really hard to push for, you know, let's have a tournament and at least just get together. It doesn't have to be so serious. I know you guys don't like serious, but like we need desperately membership and not social distancing. Let's get together and let's kneeboard.
Soon. Very soon.
virus.
Yeah.
This virus.
Because right now kneeboarding is it's in a dire need, competitive wise, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in
What's that?
in general as well as competitive.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot, like I said, this quarantine thing, like there was 9 boats on the lake. All of them had kneeboarders behind it.
That's
So
awesome.
it's not that people don't know about kneeboarding. They just don't know about what we, our view of kneeboarding is.
Mhm.
So, which we're all very similar, it's something that we all love a lot, and we're pushing it in other directions. And I'm just trying, like I said, you guys use your voice on social media and video platforms, and I'm just trying to, show the world that, hey, competitive kneeboarding has really shaped the person that I am, and was such a good positive thing, and still is in my life. And I feel like little kids, the younger generation needs something like that to look forward to.
Yep.
So for the kids right now that are getting into kneeboarding, that want to get involved with competitive kneeboarding, how would they reach out to you? How would they contact you?
Contact me on social media. You can contact me through the American Kneeboard Association. We have a Facebook page there. You can go to the American Kneeboard Association website, and there's all kinds of stuff. We've been trying to get that more, user friendly, and that's where we're going to post, things like kneeboard nights and competitions, hopefully, and clinics. So I challenge you guys to maybe start having kneeboard night, or one day a month. Tom, get your kids and 2 of their friends, hey, we're gonna have kneeboard night tonight, or kneeboard day.
Yeah.
No tube today, we're just gonna kneeboard today.
No.
Try and
No. My boat doesn't pull tubes. It can't.
no.
So my
I was
dad
just making,
told me, this boat can't pull a tube. I'm sorry, Tom.
No. Well, that's the thing. My dad told me that, tubes are not allowed either. So yeah, so I challenge the kneeboard community to just do one kneeboard day, or let's just have fun.
I like it. Challenge accepted. It's on the books. It's on the books, John.
Yeah, we're doing.
And
Bring those
if
kids
anyone's
out
in
to Odell.
Florida and wants to kneeboard with me, my door is always open to that. So, and Ohio too. Sometimes I'm in Ohio. So, and I have skied in Ohio, and it's very chilly.
Please.
That was for you, Tom.
I know. I tell you, the water was pretty cold when I was down in Florida a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
When we came down in February. I was like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
This is cold.
Yeah. I saw you guys skiing. I was like, ooh, Nate, my hair would have not been wet that day.
Kids got in and went. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
this is
so
good.
last words for the podcast.
Thank you. Subscribe, like, comment. Look up John Haile on social media. Look up Alisa Piper on social media. Instagram.
He's teaching me to be a better millennial because I didn't know this existed.
I didn't know this.
This is my first day on it as well. We are old.
We're all-
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about this morning? I don't want to be redundant.
It was fun. It was fun to see all those guys. We talked about the Worlds coming up next year down in your neck of the woods. Kind of talked about our favorite tricks a little bit, but it was hard to hear, and there's a lot going on. So
my lake, you know my lake, John, small. Last week it looked like I-95. There was between 5 and 7 boats going in a lap all day long, and I was so excited when I would see it. I was like, where have these kids been?
So this
was fun.
no, I'm good. I got someone saying hi.
all.
Hey.
Hey, Abby. Quit being shy. That girl is the best girl kneeboarder in the country. You think of that?
Is it
New-
warm enough for you to go kneeboarding yet?
No.
Oh,
Some of the lakes south of us are starting to go, the ice is starting to go off, so maybe
Hmm.
in like 2 months it'll be warm enough for Abigail, huh?
2 months?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Memorial Day
To come
weekend.
visit me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
he
back
wants
to
to.
Florida. They're both in Florida. Yeah. She says, yeah, we'll go back to Florida. She says
Oh,
the
yeah.
rain is too loud. It's raining out.
Are you a snowboarder too?
She's a skier.
No. You're a skier? I would love for you to teach me to ski.
She is a skier, aren't you? She's a fast skier too. She doesn't
I'm
like to go slow.
the one that's on the ground. That's me.